You're watching Cambridge Community Television in America.
Welcome everyone. For all you folks that are in Japan or in South America, especially on the Andes Mountains there in Peru, or if you're in the area of Egypt, wherever you are, welcome to us. We're coming live from the city of Cambridge, Massachusetts, and we're the #1 community cable access station in the United States. And my beautiful guest today is a supermodel of cartoonism. Yes, her name is Pebbles Dunn. Yuwanika Pebbles Dunn. Welcome, Yuwanika. My name is Danny De Gug.
Hi, Danny. Thank you.
As if you didn't know that.
I didn't.
And so she brought her little pet friend. She can't stand to be without him. His name is Sylvester. And so as we're here, welcoming everyone out there to see the culture, the life of my guest Pebbles, and some of her cartoonism. So we're going to look at the cartoonism. We're going to do something here extraordinary. We're going to take that picture right there, and we're going to try to blow it up and make it really large. So there it is. So tell us about this first image there.
Those are two characters from Nick and Mike. Mike is the one in front. The one in back was supposed to be the brother of Nick, but I ended up swiping him out and replacing him with someone else. But what's going on there is that they apparently went fishing, and a big fish, knocked the boat over. And I got that idea from when I was crossing the Chesapeake Bay Bridge with my cousin and my grandparents, and we saw all these boats in the water. And my cousin said, he said, would you go out there on those boats, like they're doing? And I said, there's no way I'd do that. He said, I know. He said, what if a big fish knocks it over? And I thought about that and I decided to actually draw that idea. I never told him about that I thought about that. But
And once again, tell us something about Nick and Mike.
Nick and Mike started off as a comic strip when I was in college, 2003. I was a sophomore, and I had to draw a comic strip, and I was low on time. I had, like 2 days to come up with an idea. So I was in my dorm, and I thought, what better way to come up with a comic strip that you can actually relate to? So Nick is actually me, comes from Yuwanika. I took the three letters actually in my name, named her Nick, and she has an afro. She's a teenager, distraught like me, very high anxiety, misunderstood. So that's where Nick and Mike came from. And then she has a male friend named Mike, and that's where it stemmed from.
Yes, and so all of this is being brought to you by not Campbell's Soup, not the Hearst Company of the Greater Funeral Parlors of Boston and Cambridge, but by the living presence of the Sunshine of the Americas Foundation, a nonprofit that welcomes everyone to contribute to the arts by wearing some nice clean clothes. So don't forget to take a shower, wash your clothes, and get out there. Okay, so now we're going to go to the next image right here, which is, there she is. She's in 2 places at one time, folks. Yeah, she's the supermodel of cartoonism. My guest, for those who are just tuning in, is Yuwanika Pebbles Dunn. And so we're going to go to another slide image here. We're going to go back in time. Let me take a look at look at that there. Is that adorable or what?
A Dalmatian. I love Dalmatians. I had a Pekingese growing up, but I drew a Dalmatian because that's really what I want, is a Dalmatian. So, and then the guitar. I played the guitar for a few months. I ended up selling it for art supplies one day. So I don't have a guitar anymore. But yeah, that's just basically, there's no really hidden meaning behind that. It's just Nick with a dog. I love dogs. I love rock music. So.
Yes. I see 101. I see 101 spots.
I tried to.
Not 101 Dalmatians, but 101 spots on that Dalmatian.
Yes.
Count it real quick because we got to tune in and tune out here. We're going to go to the next image. We're going back in time a little more. Oh my God, what's going on today? I'm getting burnt out. I can't figure it out.
That's me at work every single day. I kid you not. That stemmed from this one. I mean, I've had more than one stressful day at work. However, but there was just one day in particular. I was just so overwhelmed. So I relieved my stress by drawing it out and showing the world how I felt that particular day. I wanted everybody to feel what I was feeling. I wanted the papers flying all over the place. My desk had so many papers, so I'm like, why don't I add a dramatic effect by having papers fly all over the place? So that's where that one came from.
Excellent. Let's go to the next work. Oh, that's cool.
The Stage. That one's titled The Stage. I mean, like I said, I love rock music. I played the guitar for only a few months, and like I said, I was running low on money, and there was this picture I just had to draw. I sold the guitar on Craigslist, and I never owned a guitar again. But I plan on owning one another day. Anyway, so basically, it's just her playing on a stage. I wanted her to have retro colors, something that stood out. My favorite type of wardrobe was bell bottoms. Put bell bottoms on her and called it a day.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, let's go to the next image. Oh my!
I have
Valentine's Day.
Well, actually, I I have some Twitter friends. We had this thing where we would tag every week. We would all, somebody would come up with a theme. We had to draw that theme, and we would put it on Facebook, and we would share it with each other. This theme in particular was titled "I Wish." So in my case, I wish I was in California, and I won an award for my illustrations. And I had a boyfriend with a cute guy, actually. I wanted him to be very cute, so I'm single at the moment. I've had cute boyfriends, but I don't at the moment.
And so anyone who's just tuning in, we're going through a little slideshow here put together by Pebbles Dunn. And so let's see now. Well, let's just look at this a little bit more. I can see this bridge in the background.
Yeah, that's the Golden Gate.
I can see the beautiful water and the sand and like a little mountainous hillside area nearby, puffy white clouds. You did a great job as a cartoonist.
Thank you.
So at the school that you went to, were you teaching the teacher?
Oh, no, and you know what? I got my professors to think for my skills. I mean, college actually taught me a lot of skills and different techniques, should I say. Most different techniques that actually helped a lot. So
now,
I got them to think, actually.
Now, I'm curious to know, when you were studying and you were doing your thing, you were doing something before you did your thing there in college. You were doing your own developments. What were some of the accomplishments that you had before you started attending full-time college?
By the time I was in middle school, I actually started doing art competitions and contests. And I won most of the time.
Interesting.
Honestly, not to, I did.
Not to brag, that's just the way the ball...
It is. I won most of the time. I lost twice, and I knew exactly why I lost, so... But
and that's the way the paintbrush goes.
That's exactly how the paintbrush goes.
And so we're going to go over here now, back to the slideshow. And we're going to open this up and close that off. And now we're going to go to... From romance to what?
The dumps.
What are you doing
that's
there?
actually called the dumps.
Is that chocolate?
I don't. You know what? I wanted it to be an unknown substance, so I made it. I colored it brown. She's frustrated, and it was a perspective that I had never worked with before. I never worked with a perspective in which somebody was throwing something at the viewer, and I wanted to have a splatter to it. So I drew this one in particular. I was upset about. It was something silly. I'm not even going to say what I was upset about, but I was upset, so I decided to draw this picture.
If you look at this picture, you can see inside the face of the picture an actual face.
I didn't even notice that.
There's a face right there.
Interesting.
And then if you just let your mind, roll a little bit and look closely, folks, at the splatter, it almost looks like a strange sci-fi creature. That's what?
Well, maybe she's throwing a creature. Who knows? We can say that. She's throwing an alien. Who knows? Who killed it? I don't know.
So let's go over to the next step in going back in time. Oh, boy.
Oh, this one's fun. This one has a lot of meaning behind it. This is about a crush I had on someone. Major crush. The person had a girlfriend, and it killed me because I was friends with this person, so it killed me. So I decided to draw these two characters. Their backs turned toward each other. They're walking on bleeding rose petals. I wanted the back to have to be red with static, to show a type of a gray area between the two.
And you did it. You did it. You did it.
So,
beautiful.
Nothing worse than being in a gray area, but that's just my opinion.
I love it. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
Almost looks like a prom of some sort.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
That's a good observation.
And now, this is I Spy. This is going to be the presentation for a spy movie. I can see you in it.
That meaning of that picture, actually, I did that for my invitations to my art show, actually. I had an art show in November, and that was the invitation. I did my own invitation, so.
And people are watching.
Oh, yeah, they're watching too.
There she is. Bum, 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 bum. Mission Impossible. So we'll go to the next one. Oh, this looks kind of puzzling. What's going on here? Can you describe what...
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. That one, I actually drew that picture because before I had my website, I needed some help. So I actually literally, I don't know if this is bad or not, but I drew that. I put that my cartoons needed a home. And I put my contact information, and then I went to college campuses and hung them up there. So that maybe an art intern or whoever was an art major would look at it and assist me with my website. I ended up doing it on my own, but that was the reasoning of me drawing that, and to have my characters confused because they have nowhere to go. That was my perception at that time. So
Funny,
that's why.
fascinating. Let's see what we got here. Take this on, bring this to a larger view. Okay, that's sort of like a invitation. What is that?
No, that actually isn't an invitation.
Do?
What do you do when those strong emotional feelings won't go away? So what do you do when you like someone or you're in love with someone and you can't shake it?
Go out and have a good meal. Go out.
Or have chocolate.
And go out, yeah, have chocolate.
Lots of pie
lots of
and
chocolate.
donuts.
Lots of chocolate. Chocolate candy, chocolate cake, chocolate cookies, brownies.
The brownie battered donut.
And bring them to bed with you. You know, you lost your lover. Don't worry about it. That chocolate will take the place of that lover, and before you know it, you're going to feel great. You know? So anyway, go over here now to the next image, which is, this is really one of her best. She'll give us a couple of minutes of her time now. That's Pebbles Dunn. Pebbles Dunn. Yeah, let's bring it up on the screen here. Let's see. Boom. Okay. That
is my character sheet. Just to sum it up, just my character sheet of Nick and Mike and the other characters of Nick and Mike. I made it look like it was a cover of a magazine. I made up the name of the magazine by myself. I even put a joke in there about myself, 10 reasons why Pebs Productions went bankrupt. Just a joke about me.
Very good.
But that's basically it, just a cover of a magazine that I made up.
Now, these kids that are there, they all look like kids.
Yeah, they're
cute.
Teenagers.
They're cute kids, and they were all saying, gee, golly, Willikers, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on in those people's minds over there. I'm kind of shy.
Yeah.
I want to learn more about those older people. And so here we are, folks. Let's go back to the game of love and peace and intelligence and culture. And Pebbles is going to tell us, wow, what's going on here? Oh my. I wish I was there right now.
I wish I was there too, especially with this blizzard coming. But that is Nick dancing with someone. It wasn't meant to be her boyfriend. Just a random guy she's dancing with. She's on an island, beautiful sunset. And like I said, I actually drew that while I was watching the Democratic National Convention. And then I wanted to make sure that the sun reflected off of that water. So that took me a while. And I think I used about 15 different purples between that. The sky, the clouds, and the water. Because if you look at a sunset in the water, everything the colors kind of bounce off of each other. So that's what I wanted to make sure that I got across to the viewer when I did this.
Yes, and also he looks like a Democrat.
Oh, good. That's how we want it to be. That's what we want.
Let's see now. Oh my, what's happening here?
Nick's Superhero is what that is titled. Again, that's another one in which me and my Twitter friends, again, this game of tag in which we play, that we come up with a theme every week. Someone came up with a theme of make yourself a superhero. Everybody knows Nick is me. I made her a superhero on a skateboard. Looks like the skateboard has an engine or the smoke coming out of it. Yeah. And I did not want the smoke to look like regular smoke. I wanted it to pop, made it purple, made the sky red, and put some cool shades on her.
Yeah, you did it. Listen, you did it. You made Nick into a supermodel.
Oh, that's good too. I'm not going to complain about that. That means I look like a supermodel if Nick looks like a supermodel. So.
Yeah, and for everyone who would like to know the truth, this is Nick. She, Pebbles Dunn, is Nick.
I am Nick.
So please continue. You may want to follow her on Twitter. And what is the Twitter called?
Nick Mike 74.
Nick Mike 74. Let's see if we can bring something up on the screen now, just to engage us, engage the people at home, in case they want to email you. And let's see, put F11 in there, and then bring that down, and bring up the, let's see, the document. And so here goes. I'll bring this up on the screen for you folks. Bring it up. Okay, Pebbles Dunn. Yuwanica Pebbles Dunn is a cartoonist and she's supermodeling her gifts of art today. Nick Mike 74 at Twitter.
So, well, that,
or at yahoo.com.
That is correct. So if it's Twitter, you're close. At NickMike74 would be the Twitter.
Yes. And that would be nice. She would like to hear from me. She's looking for friends to share with us, with her, with each other, to be friends and to develop a more beautiful cartoonish world. Can you imagine waking up in the morning and you look out the window and it's not white puffy clouds, but they're giant orange clouds. You wake up the next morning, you see beautiful yellow clouds. Just make sure you Twitter her at this Twitter number. Right there, you can see it right there, nickmike74 at yahoo.com. That's her email, or nickmike74.
That's correct.
And let's go back to the supermodel. Let's go back to the superstar. I'm going to bring it up on the screen here. And we're going to make it as big as we can make it. And there it is again. So now, how long did it take you to make Nick into a supermodel, a super being?
Oh, it didn't take long at all. Anything dealing with Nick, it doesn't take long. The thing that may take the longest is the perspective in which she is flying. It's very tricky perspective because of the fact you're supposed to be looking up at her and the angle of her feet and her arms. So that's just the only thing that would be kind of difficult. Outside of that, when I draw Nick, that's the quickest illustration because I've drawn her so many times.
Now, I'm a believer that every human being, I don't say this to insult anyone at home, or if you're homeless and you're not at home, but somehow you got a TV in front of you. You know, I'm not saying this to insult you, or insult myself or my guest. But we're all a little spoiled, don't you think? We're all spoiled.
Well, yes.
Just a little bit, like, you know, even though we may walk around, you know, even if we're homeless, maybe we're spoiled just a little bit. You know, that's not to put down the homeless. It's not to put down people who have homes. It's just that's the way I feel sometimes. And you got to love and understand that imperfection inside our human natures. You know, our human natures, we all have a human side, a human nature. And one of my friends was telling me, you know, Danny, the reason why we have suffering is because we have human natures. And we have to understand that we suffer because of that. We're all imperfect. But let's try to do the best to have peace of mind, a sublime peace of mind, and enjoy the cartoon side of life, the peaceful side of life, the glorious and the humble side of life. Doesn't always have to be firecrackers going off in order to, you know, to enjoy your day. But you can make firecrackers in someone's life by a wonderful smile, a great hello, and a simple kindness. Doesn't have to be like you're delivering a great speech like Obama or Mitt Romney. Just deliver yourself with humility and love, and it's so beautiful. You know, and that spoiled side of us, even though it still be there, we do our best to bring love to others so we can spoil them a little bit, huh? So I'm just amazed at this work of art. How long did it take you to do the work of art?
That one in particular?
Yes.
That didn't take long, about 3 hours.
3 hours. Okay, let's go back on the slideshow here. Let's see. Okay, now we're going into the strange side.
I didn't...
The what's it called? The
dark side?
The Alfred Hitchcock side.
Dark side?
Okay, let's go back to the Alfred Hitchcock side. And there we are. Go ahead.
That is another character sheet, actually. This was not meant to be strange. I tried to... I don't know if you're a fan of The Sopranos. If you ever looked at their... I don't know if you ever looked at their advertisement with Tony in the front and everyone else in the back. I was trying to take that approach. Except I wanted it Nick in the front and everyone else in the back. And I drew this over, I think, about 3 times, in which she was facing the viewer, but it was not working. So I ended up having to have a side perspective. Once I drew the side perspective, it was just perfect. And I wanted it to be in black and white. I think this is actually the first one I did in complete black and white. Put the title in red, and there we go.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Jump that hurdle, Nick. So what is Nick doing? Is this one of
hurdle.
Is this one of the things Nick does on a Saturday morning?
No, it was actually, you know, That was actually, I think it was some kind of issue. I can't even remember anymore. But some issue I was going through, and I called it a hurdle. So I had her jumping over roadblocks.
You know, I remember when I was a kid, I would get up on Saturday mornings to watch the cartoons. Is it still going on like that on Saturday mornings for kids?
No,
or is it all
they
the
play
time?
the Xboxes now on a Saturday morning.
Xboxes?
I would think so.
What's
the
that?
Xbox? Really?
What's that?
It's a game, like a game system. I couldn't even think of the
I
word.
see.
It's a game system.
But when
Apparently that's what they do nowadays.
when people, many of us remember cartoons on a Saturday morning. It was one of the best things to do when you were a little kid, from the ages of like 8 to 14 or 8 to 13. Then you grew out of that.
Not really. I have I have Daffy Duck's Quackbusters DVD right there in my house, and I'll be 30 next week, so I didn't grow out of it.
I love it. I love it. Listen, I love cartoons still. Don't get me wrong. I'll watch cartoons when they're really good quality, like Nick and Mike. And those who want to contact her, Nick and Mike, or nickmike74 at yahoo.com. And so let's go back to Nick here. Let's see. Okay. So Nick is looking. There's a clock there. What's the reason for the clock?
She's short of time, and like I said, I can't even remember what the dilemma was. But you know, it's just a matter of I was just trying to symbolize the
shortcut.
A shortcut,
A shortcut to get back to the house or to the appointment somehow.
It wasn't even that. It was just
it's
a
very
matter
funny.
of being on a time frame, and maybe you have a problem, and you only have a certain amount of time to fix it. And I have her. If you see below her feet, there's a road blockage. She's jumping over the road blockage because you know sometimes you have these dilemmas in which it's hard to, you know, jump over that hurdle, and you try one thing and there's a road blockage there. You try another thing, there's a block, and so that was what I was trying to get across.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
Let's see here. Oh, this is really. This is the Beatles' Yellow Submarine kind of stuff, you know. Peter Max and Peter the Bunny or Peter Rabbit.
This is one of my actually most recent ones. I believe I drew this like 2 weeks ago. It's called
Wow.
Happy Place. It's called
what?
Happy Place.
Mm-hmm.
Nick's Happy Place. I decided to have some bunnies that were having a great time. One with a tambourine. I wanted the background to be psychedelic. Wanted some mushrooms in there. That's her happy place. I want her to be dancing.
That's one of your best. I mean, you have a lot of your stuff is excellent.
Thank you.
But this one here appeals to a certain type of audience.
I would think so, yes.
Yes, you did a great job.
Thank you.
Let's go over here now to, now what is stock difference? Let's go back and forth. Wow.
Right.
Uh-oh. One moment. Wow. Uh-oh. I had to do that twice. Okay, we'll go to the next one. Wow, what's going on here? There she is playing her guitar.
Yeah. Playing her electric one. That's her friend, Daphne, and one of the characters of Nick and Mike, and they're rocking out in her bedroom.
Cool. Free Pebs.
That was another
Justice
joke.
for Pebs.
Yeah.
What happened to you?
I don't know. I guess I got in prison somehow. Who knows? They're definitely protesting something there. So I kept it kind of vague as to what I did or why they're saying to free me. It's up to the audience to decide exactly what I did.
Yes.
But everybody, that was kind of self-explanatory. They're protesting for me. But I wanted it to take place in the 70s. So I did some things in Photoshop to get rid of some of the color. It's not as vibrant as my other ones. I wanted it to have a vague color, not much of it, just kind of, I think I added like a yellowish tint there through Photoshop to make it really look like a 70s picture.
You did.
Yeah.
You did it. Now, the Mod Squad, right?
Yes, it is.
You ever hear of the Mod Squad?
I have heard of it, but I don't know. I've heard of it.
They're undercover. They're undercover young people playing undercover detectives.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And I think the actor's name, his first name was Clarence, the gentleman here that has the afro.
Mm-hmm. That's Mike. Yes.
Yeah, Mike reminds you of Clarence. The actor, I think his first name was, as I say again, in other words, was and is Clarence. Hopefully he's still around. I'll have to Google that later on. So with a few minutes left, let's continue. Oh, isn't that sweet?
That picture was actually featured in a blog in England, Ray Gun Press. And on Twitter they had said they needed some, they would like for us to, well, anybody that was an artist to submit Christmas illustrations. and they accepted mine. So it was featured on a blog named at raygunpress.com. And that was my Christmas illustration. Nick and Mike. I didn't want anybody else. I wanted them. I wanted Nick's dog there with some antlers.
Cool.
I added some lighting effects there, and then called it a day.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
So we go from Christmas now to another day in Christmas, it seems.
It is. That one was kind of a joke. That one was actually for my job. They wanted me to do a poster for advertising the Christmas party. As you can see, it was like a year ago, 12/22/11. And this one, I wanted it to be funny. I wanted all these different Christmas characters fighting over money because they were actually having a Yankee swap. I don't usually partake in Yankee swap, but I wanted that to advertise the Yankee swap in which they were having. So you have Ebenezer Scrooge, you have Rudolph stealing some money, you got Frosty, you got the elves, you got Nick biting the snowman. So
I could see that as a poster. Could you folks? I can see that as a poster. Great poster. And we're back at the beginning. So, folks, we're ending down the show now, but we want you to know that this beautiful woman you can see there in the corner of your upper corner of your television is one of the nicest persons I've ever met, and she's inviting everyone, one and all, to visit at her email or Twitter zone, and that's Nick, N-I-K, not N-I-C-K, N-I-K, Mike, M-I-K-E 74 at Yahoo. And so I sound spoiled because I'm a little spoiled. I don't know what happened to me today, but I got a little spoiled. Maybe it's the hat I'm wearing. But I'm so glad because I got this beautiful person next to me. I kind of feel spoiled. And I got a beautiful person sitting down over there, Todd Melfa, who is a minister of health. Health minister Todd Melfa can perform weddings. And anyone who would like to have a wedding, contact me at treaty.tv, and we can do it on TV. How about having a wedding? And maybe Mr. Health Minister there, Todd Melfa, could perform the wedding. Thank you, beautiful Pebbles.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Peace and love to everyone.